Awen is a Welsh term that translates to inspiration in English. The word Awen links to the ideas of poetic spirit, intuition, genius, and inspiration. The Awen sign, now famous among the druids and bards of the north, consists of 3 vertical lines, with 3 dots above each line. This intriguing symbol is the emblem of several druidic orders and groups, highlighting its importance as a mark of the sacred creative force. The word itself is created by combining the prefix awl, meaning a fluid or flowing, and the suffix n, which relates to a living principle, a being, a spirit, or something essential. So, the term Awen can be read as a flowing or fluid essence, or a fluid or flowing spirit. Interestingly, and worthy of note, is the fact that modern dictionaries do not support this interpretation. I often wonder why this is, and why it is the case for so many other intriguing Welsh words. The Welsh language, like its mythologies and legends, is deeply allegorical. Welsh is described by some in Wales as the language of the angels, and the word Awen perfectly encapsulates this idea. Awen means inspiration and intuition, and can be linked, as we have seen, to the concept of a flowing essence or a fluid spirit. But it also has connotations toward reins, as in the reins of a horse. Awen means the rein of a bridle, and in anatomical allegory, the reins of a horse symbolise the connection between body and spirit. In this ancient spiritual concept, the horse represents the human body, and its rider signifies the spirit, the sacred bioelectricity that flows through the nervous system. The reins, or the Awen, act as the sacred connection between the two. However, there is another Welsh term for reins that only deepens the allegory and also provides some useful insight into the ancient links between human anatomy, energy control, and our natural gift for intuition and foresight. The Welsh word elwl means reins, but it also relates to the kidneys. Elwl means the reins or the kidneys, and elwlen is a kidney. Another Welsh term that translates to kidney is aren, and the Welsh word awen, cognate to Awen, again relates to the rein of a bridle or that which harnesses. Here we see a beautiful correlation between the gift of intuition and inspiration, Awen, the reins or controlling apparatus of a horse, synonymous with the body in spiritual and anatomical allegory, and the kidneys and adrenal cortex of the human body. This wonderful etymological link shows the vital role that our hormones play in the connection to God or the gods and the universal light, the fluid or flowing Awen. Furthermore, Awen also connects to the idea of wind and can be compared to the breath of life and the magical air of other traditions, the ether, the pneuma, the prana, anima, aurora, ond and others. In Welsh, awel means wind. Awr is the element of air, and the Welsh term awrnen means the firmament. This common connection between the breath, the wind and the vital force of the human body in so many of our shared languages and traditions highlights the importance of breathing, oxygen, the diaphragm, and mindfulness when working with the Awen, the flowing, sacred energy that animates all things. In this more cosmological interpretation, Awen relates to the universal force and the subtle underlying energy that gives life and movement to the whole of existence. It can be compared to the chi of the Far East, the prana from the Vedic law, Maigen or Ond energy from the Norse teachings, and the mana of the Pacific Islanders and the biblical traditions. Once again, we can see that the word Awen can be connected to the higher powers of the cosmos and the interaction of this sacred force with the human body, mind, and spirit. The word Awen, in its prophetic inspiration interpretation, can be compared to the Gaelic imbas and the divine inspiration of the Dionysian mystery schools. The Dionysian mysteries held great belief in the power of the sacred universal energies. Exoterically speaking, the revealed or openly given information, that is, the Dionysian mystery tradition is renowned for its revelry, its love of wine and religious ecstasy, with all things in excess. However, in the esoteric, the inner circle of the true teaching, the lessons are associated with fertility, the connection of humanity with the gods, and the prophetic rapture and divine inspiration attained when working with the sacred force. Inspiration often arises in our dreams. Insight from the dream world has led many of the great minds of the past to their best inventions, discoveries, symphonies, and stories. Gaining insight and intuition from dreams is an ancient art form, and the connection to the sacred energies, or the Awen, facilitates this nocturnal enlightenment. And once again, the deeply symbolic and metaphorical Welsh dialect beautifully highlights this ancient wisdom, this time with the word awenyddion. The Welsh term awenyddion refers to a person who attains insight and intuitive knowledge from their dreams and visions, and then shares these insights with the wider community. When we work with a conserved creative force, the Awen energy we all have flowing through our nervous systems, we can better connect to the cosmological powers of creation. This connection to the Awen energy can lead to increased health, improved well-being, enhanced cognition, and a deeper intuition and insightfulness in our nightly journeys to the other world, the dream world. Awen is the wind, the breath of inspiration and enlightenment. It is our harness to God, to the gods, the sacred universal powers.